Hey, this is Ted from Death Angel, and you're watching The Offering from Chicago.
You started this tour like a week ago.
The Overkill tour?
Yes.
Yeah, but we started in Baltimore.
Right, on your own. So far, how are these shows? Do you like
The
them?
shows are great. I mean, it's our first time touring with Overkill.
It is.
So it's first time ever. I mean, I think
I
we played
believe it.
a couple of festivals maybe in Europe. I think we played with them once in Japan, like, festivals,
Yeah.
but not a tour. And I think it's been going great. The Overkill guys are great. We get along with them great. The shows have been great. And then you have Mothership, who's opening, which is like, they're like a really rock and roll band. So it's good. You kind of you break it up. It's not, you got a good rock and roll band, and we're kind of rock and roll thrash. Then you got Overkill, who's just
Badass.
Yeah.
And you must be very excited because your new album, Humanicide, is gonna be released at the end of the month.
Yeah, we're excited. It's
Right?
a good album. Yeah, we're excited about it.
Are you playing new songs on this tour?
We're playing one
Only
new
one.
song. We're playing the
Okay.
title track, Humanicide.
Which is the first you released.
Yes.
And the second is The Pack.
Yeah.
So what made you choose these two songs to represent the album?
Well, Humanicide, it's the opening track, and we feel it's the strongest track. And with The Pack, the second single, we feel it's a feel-good song for us. And it's basically about everyone, the fans, basically the fans and our diehard fans in our fan club. It's basically about being united. Like when you go to metal shows, you have people from all different walks of life, different cultures, different different people, but they put all their differences, religious, political differences at the door, and they just come in and enjoy the music. Let's just have fun. Let's get together and have a good time.
So when you started working on this album, did you have a precise idea of what you wanted?
No. I mean, every time we work on an album, we never look back in a sense of like, how do we top this album? How do we top that? We just start with a clean slate. All right, that album cycle's done. Let's get to writing some new songs, and we just do what we normally do. We just write whatever feels good to us, whatever sounds good to us. But we never like have anything planned, like maybe we should write this or that. It just basically comes out. Then usually, like, when the record's done, recorded, mixed, and mastered, and you listen back to it, you go, oh, that kind of sounds like a feel-good song. But we never go in there thinking we should write this or that. It just naturally comes out.
So you followed a similar songwriting approach for this album, or you did something different this time?
It's pretty much the same. I mean, Rob usually writes, and he gets together with Will to get the basic skeletons done. Then he sends it to like me, Damien, and Mark, and we listen to it and do our own thing to it. But it's been the same process for the last since Relentless Retribution to now with this lineup. It works. It just it's very comfortable, and it's just a lot easier on everyone. It works. Why change it why fix it if it's not broken?
Right.
Yeah.
And with this stable lineup since some years now, are you guys always on the same page when it comes to make music?
Music, yes. I mean, musically we're on the same page, and I mean, there's going to be some sort of tension back and forth because that's just how it is. It's really good, healthy tension, positive tension. Sometimes Mark will have ideas vocally, and then Rob will have ideas vocally, and sometimes they compromise. They meet in the middle, and musically, with Will and Rob too. We'll have some ideas, and Rob will go, I don't like that, try this, and vice versa. Will goes, I don't like that, but I want to try this. So there's always like good collaboration mixed with healthy tension. So it's there's no fighting or nothing, but it's just bouncing ideas back and forth.
Yeah, and that makes things probably easier.
It makes it a lot easier. Yeah.
And The Evil Divide was a very successful album. How is Humanicide different from that in terms of style or sound?
Well, still Death Angel.
Right.
You know, it's just Death Angel of today. But, you know, I mean, I could sit here and tell you it's the best album. It's the
Right.
greatest. It's heavy. Of course, it's going to be heavy. It's Death Angel. You can have crunchy guitars, loud drums. But I think what I could kind of explain about this album is, you know, this lineup's been together 10 years strong. 4 albums together, you know. I think you could, when you listen to the album from start to finish, you could hear everyone's personality. Especially, you could, you know, there's some songs where you could, you know, you could totally hear the influence we have on each other. You could hear, like, I think on this one you could hear a lot what Damien's doing on bass. You go, oh yeah, cool. You could hear Damien, or that's cool. And you could hear there's a lot of variety on this record, which, you know, again, we all influence each other with lots of stuff, and you could hear that with some Death Angel style. And I think on this one, I think it's the best. Personally, it's the best Mark has ever sang on this record. There's a lot of good melodies and lyrics, and the way he sings is really good.
And of course, as this tour proves, thrash metal is still very popular in the modern music scene. What do you think of that? Why you think people love it so much?
I don't know. I mean, it's I guess with thrash metal, I think out of all the genres of music, the metalcore, thrash metal, death metal, or I don't know what other technical metal, I think there's a lot of good hooks, you know, good songwriting. Like, you could hear the vocals, there's vocal melodies, there's catchy choruses, which, you know, other genres don't have. You know, well, they probably do, but this one's more, you could sing along to it more. And I guess, I don't know, I guess people kind of grasp onto that better. I that's what I personally think.
And, you know, Death Angel and Overkill too, you guys influenced so many bands. How you feel about that? So many younger bands, even today.
It's good, you know, it's very humbling, you know, to see bands and young musicians, you know, talking to us saying, you know, you inspired us, you influenced us, because I know the feeling, you know, you have, you know, I grew up Megadeth, Metallica.
You were inspired.
Yeah, I was inspired by them, and, you know, Judas Priest, Iron Maiden. You go, oh, your inspiration, you know. So I know the feeling, and it's cool to see that, because it gets younger bands and younger musicians to keep playing music and to keep playing what they want to play.
And you know, the music scene, the music industry, they keep on changing. What do you think about the current situation and the fact that bands must have a big presence on social media?
Yeah, we were just talking about that today. I mean, social media is a big thing today. Yeah. You have to have it. I mean, it's what it is today. You can't really rely on the old school method, you know? I mean, you could, but then you'll kind of be left behind. So, I mean, we're learning about it. You know, we're trying to be more social as much as we can. You know, we even brought a videographer out with us to help us, you know, with some videos and, you know, help us with our socials. But it's very important today, as, you know, as we're on social media, having to see all these bands always constantly post stuff. And I get it. You know, these young kids who are millennials, you know, who grew up in the era of internet, love that. So you gotta, it's a instant gratification type of world nowadays, you know? Where back then you see a band and you just only find them through magazines or the local paper or Headbangers Ball or word of mouth. But now the internet's just crazy that, you know, you can pick up your phone and know, oh, the band's coming tomorrow, and you can just go. So I think social media is really important, not just for music, but I guess for everything out there.
But do you miss how it used to be for bands before that?
I do, but, you know, I'm not going to sit here and go tell the whole world it should be that. I'm glad I lived it.
Right.
But it's not going back to the way it was. So you have to just adapt to the current situation and just move forward, you know. You could still have a little bit of that old school, like, the mystique of it. I mean, you are in control of your social media, so you could only, you know, you could control what you want out there and still have a mystique type thing. But yeah, I'm glad I lived it. It's never gonna go back to the way it was. Do I miss it? Yes and no, but
Yeah, yeah.
I can't live in the past.
Though vinyls and cassettes are coming back strong.
Yeah, it is. I mean, it's a good thing. Is it coming back strong the way it used to be? No, it just made a comeback. I don't think
Yeah.
it's gonna be as strong as it was in the 80s.
No,
'Cause
like
everyone was buying records. Everyone, not only metal, but every genre of music. Cassettes, I think cassettes are just making a comeback for a nostalgia, just something to collect. They're not going to play it, just something to collect. But I think, vinyl made a comeback. A lot of people listen to vinyl, and that's good. But at the end of the day, it's just, to me, it's just more of a collection. Sorry to say, it's not going to be the big hip thing like it was growing up, where there's not that many record stores open nowadays. The only time you buy vinyl is either you order it online or you find some mom and pop record shop to buy vinyl.
Or the record store.
Yeah, I mean, there's nothing against vinyl, but I think the king right now is streaming.
Yeah,
music streaming.
Yeah.
But there's people who do like to buy vinyl because they like the sound of vinyl, and I get that.
Definitely.
But I do that too. I listen to vinyl at home, but when I just when I feel like driving, I just kind of stream, Spotify. So
Speaking about that, what do you listen right now lately?
you don't want to know. No, we listen. I mean, I listen to all sorts of stuff.
What's on your playlist, your Spotify playlist?
My Spotify playlist. I'll give you a few artists, but
Yeah.
I really like this artist called George Ezra. He's kind of like a young guy from England. It's kind of hard to describe his music, but it's kind of cool. It's kind of English pop rock.
Not metal.
No, not metal. I like Muse.
Right. I like Muse too a lot.
The other day I was shuffling Bruno Mars. Came about. I love Bruno Mars, and I checked out this band called Greta Van Fleet. They're okay.
Yeah.
I pulled them up. People talk about them. I pulled them up. They're okay. But basically, just, whatever's on shuffle. Sometimes some old school stuff come on. Sometimes some new stuff come on that I don't recognize, that I look like, I'll check it out. But it's some weird stuff.
All over.
None of you ever heard of. So
So when you think about the future of Death Angel, what would you like to accomplish?
to keep, at least, I mean, the fact that we're still here,
it's already a big
that's okay.
accomplishment.
I mean, if we could keep doing what we're doing, that's cool. I mean, I don't think, trying to, I mean, of course you want to strive to, be much more successful, move up, but, I'm not thinking of, like, I want to be a millionaire type thing.
Right.
As long as we're able to still do this and make a living off it, that's happy. But, and just be able to create the music we want to create without having to compromise anything, just write some good music, be able to play House of Blueses and be able to tour around the world to play to people who dig our music. That's a good thing for us.
Mm-hmm. And what's next in terms of touring after this one?
After this tour, we go home for about a week and a half. We have a listening party at a local brewery in Oakland, California, Ale Industries. We're having a listening party for Humanicide, invited, about a couple of hundred people to come out and check it out. Then we go to Europe at the end of May, do festival runs, some headliners, and we're home for July. Then in August, we go back to Europe for about 3 weeks to do more festivals, the latter half of the summer. Mm-hmm. Then we're doing the Mega Cruise, that's in October. Yeah. And September, November, December, we're working on stuff, but I'm sure we're going to be out touring, either the States or back in Europe. But definitely we're going to be touring a lot for this record, for sure. We want to do some headlining shows,
right.
Mix it up, because right now we haven't headlined
mm-hmm.
in a long time,
mm-hmm.
but we couldn't turn down this tour. I mean, it's a good package. Overkill and us, come on.
Usually when it's the right time.
Yeah, the right time. Like, yeah. I do want to go out because there's a lot of people asking us to go out and headline.
Right.
And plus I want to play quite a few songs off Humanicide and, Evil Divide and whatnot. And we want to make it a really good headlining tour, a good package. So you'll see us headline soon, hopefully before the year is over.
Cool. Mm-hmm. Enjoy the rest of the tour, and thank you so much for the interview.
Thank you. I remember you.